So let me think. What else have I been doing lately? Oh, I've been having like. Do either of you remember Saudi Arabia, the canyon? Yeah, there was some weird base there, really weird. I think this was like the 1890s. That I think I was like 11 or 12, I, or I might have just turned 13. I'm not entirely sure yet. This was before I went to Montauk, but like there was what am I thinking? Oh, this canyon with like rooms carved out of the side, and there were like modular buildings on the ground inside it, and uh, they were flying Huey helicopters in the
Yes, and
1890s.
they were shooting. They were shooting the laser things at us, and we were wearing the helmets. Well,
Yeah,
the way I remember, it's like it was like a khaki soft white, kind of
yeah,
like Desert Storm, but like softer color. Go ahead.
yeah. And there was, I remember like VR programming there as well. Like they had this thing, it looked like one of those old-fashioned slide viewers you would put on, but it had two eye holes and they would be playing a movie in two different movies in each eye. Like, yeah.
Yes, dude. I'm so glad you remember because I have this written down since 2017. I'm like, who else remembers? Um, what how I remember it is they had the helmets. We had the helmets, but then so there was like a TV in front of him, like a little small rectangular, like we'll say like a cell phone, like this big. And then you couldn't see the antennas on the helmet, but they would shoot a memory, it'd go, and then it'd come into here. And that's
Yeah.
they were walking, the military, they were walking, and then I was like crouched down, like what the fuck's going on? Because it's like, just watching everything. And they were coming down from these apartment complexes that were all white, and they were doing an evacuation, and there was even little kids there. And it had like rolling hills, and it did have the grass, but some of them were desert area. And then that's when we were fighting. After that, I was like going like fighting these laser things, and we had our weapons and everything, but we were all scattered throughout the desert. And this was in a dome place as well. It was really high up. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And like a crater inside a mountain. Like, yeah, that's, I mean, what better place to hide something, right? Like, yeah.
I
So,
see Petra, like in, what is it? In
George,
Raiders of the Lost Ark, that city, or it looks like that city, or whatever it is on the side of the mountain, and it's like orange or something
yeah,
like that. You know what I'm
there's,
talking about?
yeah, there's a place also in, well, in Saudi Arabia that's built by the same civilization. It's less well known.
Okay.
I'll, but yeah, that, I think that's, we're talking about the same place, definitely.
Okay.
And it was so weird, like virtual reality and Huey helicopters in the 1890s. Like, but yeah.
And what's weird is that's I totally saw how they lit up our back. It was like a greenish neon color. And I have so many issues with my back, with my feet, the
Same here,
bone.
dude.
Huh?
Like the same here. I have lower back problems, hip problems, my knees.
Yes. And my but and then I was asking my mom, it's like, because I know it's the anthrax that they shot me up with, the 5-in-1 in 1991. I was asking my mom, like, what's going on here? Because the other day she mentioned that one of her first cousins ended up being crippled and died from the bone. I don't know what they call that. Arthritis.
Polio?
I'm like,
Or
oh. What, John?
was it polio she died from?
I don't know. My mom said that her whole body just crippled up and then she wasn't the same like up here. And I was like, what the? I know it has to do with the O negative bloodline because all my family is on both sides is that. Then yesterday I was at the dog park. I did a really quick, video yesterday showing all the freaking ships. They're like this big. They're huge actually, but they're round and then with the thing sticking up like if it was a man's part. Sorry, I don't know what they're called. But they're right over. As soon as I talked to this guy about what I'm going to tell you, and they flew right over. Oh my gosh! And then freaking, choppers nonstop. But anyway, I was talking to this nice man. He was also in the military. I'm not going to say his name because he's visiting, but he has a handler, and I got to be careful what I say. Now, what I can say is he says they shot me up with the 5-in-1 anthrax in 97, he said. And I'm like, dude, they shot me up in 91. And I said, do you have any back issues? He goes, dude, he's like, I already have 8 titanium screws now. Because I was all like, dude, I have 5 and then I'm going to get my neck done. He goes, I have 8, he says, in 2 cages. And I'm like, he has his VA benefits, but what they're doing is they're giving him all these kinds of medications for the mind because he told me that he was listening to a voice that says, end your life before you do that, end your wife and your kids' life. And so they had to take him to, loony bin. They started giving him all that medication. I'm like, mother effers. I go, do you know it's MK Ultra, right? He goes, oh yeah, I've done a lot of investigating on that. I know what that is. And I'm like, yeah, buddy, that happened to me too. It's like not a good thing, not, and this is what they do to us. They, use us and then they want us to end our lives with that Omega programming. And it's like, it's really, really tough for us all here because those thoughts are horrible. I mean, even the minute I wake up till like I go to sleep, I see all these, it's tough living here, and but it can be, this stuff can be overcome. There are things we can do and our just by us being here, we are the light, we are the stars that fall, you guys. And I don't want to cry, but we are the stars, that fall
Yeah.
and help humanity. And that's why, you know we are the, like I say, you guys, the bioluminescence, if you want to look at it as fairy dust, the crystalline beings, that's what we are. And they used our essence for the AI technology, for you name it, for space, for underground. And so we're supposed to be here to help one another. Go ahead, Jen.
Oh, what was I saying?
Oh, I
Oh,
was
you were.
just talking about the anthrax and how they lit us up
Oh,
in the spine and stuff like that.
yeah. That I'm probably gonna get titanium screws too. 'Cause like uh, if I don't, my orthopedist says I'm gonna have arthritis in my back by the time I'm 35. So yeah,
You're so young. You shouldn't be getting that already.
yeah. But like I'm not gonna put up with that. So I need that
Yeah, you
operation.
gotta get it done. And you know what? We've been here many, many times and many years. It doesn't matter. We know, John, you're like what, 21, 24?
21. Yeah.
21. And you've been here a long time too. And it's just they age regress us. They, like the guy, what's his name? Al Bealey. He always talks about Manhattan Project and the Invisible Shield and how, he was able, him and his brother came back. They talk to you at like 65 or something and say, hey, you want another body? You want to, keep all your identity and your information. And a lot of people do that. Now, me, I do not consent to that. So they do it because they want to use our abilities. But I strongly suggest that you do get that surgery done. After I get my neck done, I have to have my hands done because I have carpal tunnel on both. I have to have my shoulder redone again. other things. My ankle, my right ankle, I was born with feet that would supinate, and then one's crooked, and I needed to use special shoes when I started walking at 9 months. And my mom's family could only afford it for 1 year, and I might have to do my feet again. I don't know. But I feel bad for you, dude. Like, I know how you feel, and you too, Celeste, because the knees are bionic knees, We need them, man. We gotta run. Why
All
you run?
right.
I'm gonna
Run
catch
and
you.
fight.
Yep. So, Celeste, what memories have you been getting? Like,
So that one number I told
Celeste,
you.
tell them about that memory of before I forget, because I was almost gonna forget the fraternity thing.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, before I tell you the one about whether it's you or the late great Senator John Warner. So close to me, there's this fraternity house, and I had a dream or a memory, I guess, or whatever it is, where I was in this house and I was cleaning it because I used to be a Airbnb house like house cleaner. And so I'm in this house and I'm cleaning this bed and I just keep taking off all like the bedding and there's just like dog food there too. And then the guy tells me telepathically, like, oh yeah, just in case my dog gets hungry, there's food right there. And I thought it was the strangest thing. And so the people are in this house. I don't know if they're like alphabet soup agents. And so this one girl's walking me to the house because I'm trying to wash the linen and stuff. And the house, it's like Harry Potter style because you walk in and then it's friggin' huge all of a sudden. And so we're trying to get to the laundry room. And then I just know that there was this Air Force guy in there and he's kind of just like side eyeing me. And he was a black dude. And he's just kind of like side eyeing me. And we're looking at each other like, the fuck are you looking at me like that for, you know? And because he's also washing clothes, but he's all in his fatigue. And so this girl, I don't know who she is. I just know she has long dark hair. She's probably like in her mid-30s. She was really nice to me, and like, so she's trying to like show me around the house. It almost had like a hotel feel to it because just how big the living room was. It just seemed more like a lobby than a living room. So we're walking through the house, and then we get to the laundry room, and it's huge, but where the washer and dryer are, there was like this, I don't know what to call it, but it seemed like it was like a central system, like where all the power was coming from. And I'm just like, this is the laundry room. I'm like, this is not the laundry room. Like this is something else. Like something they're trying to keep hidden. That's what I got. And I never washed any clothes. Like it's like she was showing me this place, and then that Air Force dude is right there. So I think he was guarding it. That's why he was looking at me kind of funny. And I'm just like, okay. And so I needed to use the bathroom, but I didn't. I was like, do you guys have like an actual bathroom? And then, the guys that were there was like maybe two or three guys. And, they're kind of like, kind of chuckling. And they're like, and I'm like, is there no other bathrooms here? And they're like, well, yeah, there is. But we don't want you getting, what did he say exactly? He's like, we don't want this certain dude pretty much raping me or something. They're like, we don't want to send you to this bathroom because once you're in there, like, you're going to get attacked. And I was like, never mind. I don't want to use this bathroom then. And like they're pretty much just like letting me know the ins and outs of this fraternity house. And every time I pass it by, I'm like, what's going on in this house? And they have like a fake deer outside, like a stag outside of their fraternity. And so just every time I pass it by, I'm just like, what is up with this house? What is up with this fraternity house? So it's just like, I'm kind of intrigued to find out what's going on in there, but like, I'm not gonna walk up to their door and just be like, "Hey, can I just check out your house?" But there's something up with that house, though, that fraternity house, and they're always throwing parties and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I wonder what's up there.
yeah, that is weird. There's
Yeah,
you there's like a dumb under it or something.
it could be, dude.
I
It
think
could
Yeah.
be.
that has to connect to the mansion over there in Sussex. And
Oh, speaking of England,
Hmm.
yes.
did either of you watch the movie, the remake of Rebecca on Netflix?
Mm-mm.
No, Rebecca, no, not yet. Hola,
On net,
power lady. Thanks for joining.
Hey. Power lady.
Hi there.
I like your apartment there in New York City. I'm gonna go visit you.
Yup.
But John was saying that if we had seen the remake movie of Rebecca, and I have no clue what it's about. What is it about?
Okay, it was the story itself is about like this woman who moves into her husband and there's like a psychotic housekeeper.
Oof.
It's like but like they move into this old mansion in Cornwall and like that movie that was trigger central watching that movie because it's about him gaslighting her and like eh. There's even a scene where she puts on a dress and a red dress and she has flowers in her hair and she's trying to go to this party but like her husband won't let her wear that costume. It's a costume party because of course. And like yeah,
Oh
it's
man, that's already triggering for me.
yeah. And like the actress even looks like someone we know. I'm not gonna say who it is. I doubt Celeste or Iris know her, but like yeah. Uh so yeah, that happened. That movie was intense for
You
me, and I
Sorry.
feel like I've either been to Cornwall or to a planet that looked like it because like they were showing scenes walking on the beach, and I was just like, I've been there, you know.
Yeah, one of the movies that sounds like that reminds me was Rosemary's Baby. Oh my gosh. That was
Oh,
really hard to watch. It took me like maybe 3 days to finish it. Um, oh, before I forget, I remember I told you about that memory, John, about when I was living in these like really small rectangular shaped lockers that were
yeah,
stacked up in like in the cave or something.
yeah. You told me.
Yeah,
I
and yeah, there were no doors. There were just like one window, and we all lived like we were maybe well, we were kids. We were like teenagers, and a bunch of us lived there. But to get in there, you had to climb in there, and I was bigger than the place, and I had to make myself small. Um, you had to just climb to get up there. It's kind of weird. And then some guy like last year posted something about the Indian I don't know what they were, but in Arizona they have these like teepee looking mud houses and they're really tiny. They're way up there. They still have them in a museum. And I was remembering that when I was a kid, I went over there and it's
Hmm.
just really triggering. I'm like, did I exist in those times or what? Because or was it during the time here with the programs? But anyway, Power Lady, thanks for being here. Do you have any memories you'd like to share?
Not right now. I guess as I go on, something will pop in my head like it usually does.
Well,
So
there was that memory I had of you. Do I have your permission to talk about that?
yes, you do.
Okay. So we were in Area 51 or someplace somewhere in the desert. And this was the Stargate program, not the Project Stargate, which is remote viewing, Stargate program, like the TV show. And we opened up this portal. There was, let's see, 6 of us, you and me. Uh, I know who the other people are, but I don't have their permission. You were all basically my security detail. I was This was another diplomatic thing, and we opened up this Stargate to, it looked like Switzerland or maybe northern Italy, somewhere in the Alps. Um, and there was like a German village at the base of the mountain, and we went up. Two of you, no, three of you stayed at the foot, of the mountain, two other people came up with me. And there was this black dragon just chilling on a rock there, which that adds to the idea that this might be Switzerland because like CERN and all of that. But anyway, so there was this dragon there, and he wasn't very big. He was like maybe 7 feet long. And so I was talking telepathically to him, like, you're not supposed to be on this planet. And surprisingly enough, he actually understood. And he opened up a portal by himself with his own mind and flew through it, and he was gone. And that's the end of that memory. But yeah.
So it sounds like you said, a diplomatic mission.
Yes.
When I talked to you originally about this, I did have a memory from the night before, and I thought that at the end of the memory, I thought I was in like it's called Mount Charleston, which is a place where we can go to get snow because I'm in Las Vegas. And what I saw was I walked up a side of a mountain. There was a trail, and when I got to the apex of this mountain, I saw off to the left in the distance coming over the mountains 4 crafts. You know, the regular ones, you know, just the normal ones. They reminded me of the one from the movie The Navigator, is what they look like. And they came whooshing through and came towards me. The first one stopped, and I picture myself looking up at it, and we were communicating. So pardon me?
That's interesting. Sorry.
Okay. Oh no, jump in. And so once that was over, that ship went around me and took off. And then the second ship came to me and like checked me out, like, you know, went around me like that. And then it took off. The other 2, I don't remember where they went. They just were no longer there. But it started out with 4. So after this happened, I go next. I'm at it looked like a lodge, a wooden place, cabin sort of like. And I went in there, and this is one of the very rare times that my sisters were there. And I went running in there. I said, hey, I just saw some crabs up at Mount Charleston. And they looked at me, rolled their eyes, and they said, here she go again. And then I woke up, and I'm like, man, in my dreams, they're on me. But so that was that. But I was actually standing. I see myself standing, looking up at this silver craft, and we were communicating. And then when it was done, it took off. And then the second one, just like I said, checked me out and then kept going. And the other 2, I don't remember. I assume they went on. But
yeah. But that's very interesting. So, I'll have to look up some pictures. I don't know about Mount Charleston. I'll have to look and see if maybe that is the place.
Yeah. But when you were speaking a few ago, I have another memory, because you spoke of portal and something cold, you know, like Switzerland and the Alps. I do have a memory of where I was coming out of a portal, and I was on some type of vehicle that was going very fast. So at first, when I first awoke, I thought I was in a cave, coming out of a cave. But once I figured things out, I knew I was coming out of a portal. It was dark, it was black, and I came whooshing out of it. And as I exited, there was snow. And I ended up on a road. And I remember going around this road that was nothing but snow. And when I looked past the snow, there were mountains and everything was snow. And I just remembered that, just listening to what you said when you spoke of, you know, the portal, the Alps, that I actually do have a memory of coming out of a portal into a snowy area. And I was on something that was moving fast. So that might have more of a connection in the Mount Charleston. I'm not sure.
Yeah, who knows? But that's also,
That's also Antarctica. Remember we had that show, John? The last time we talked about the ice, the um the caves and then the mountains that were just ice.
yeah.
And we
And
were
the
there as teenagers.
smugglers,
A lot of us were there.
yeah. And the ice smugglers and all of that. Yeah,
And the kids there. It could be that
yeah,
one. Mhm.
yeah. Who knows? I'm not sure, but uh, that is interesting. That's not the first memory I've had of a dragon. I've had a memory where I killed one once, but it didn't look like this one. It was like 30 feet long and it was green and it was sleeping. This this town, it looked just like a town on Earth, but just different enough you could tell it wasn't. So this was some other planet. I don't know which one, but there was this huge dragon sleeping next to these cars and I walked up to it and I had this weird spear thing that it looked more like a fire poker. It was a weird weapon, but anyway, I stabbed it in the eye with that thing and killed it. And like, yeah. So that's a crazy one.
Yeah.
I have a memory of asking myself, okay, well, what do my dragons look like? And I've talked about it before. And then so I go to sleep here and I wake up, and in the corner is my middle sister. And in front of her, there's a huge, huge white dragon. It's beautiful and it's all like gooey. Like it looks like snow and it's just beautiful. And it's going, looking at me like it's very loving and peaceful, but yellow eyes and just real a lot of the bumps that it had and then gooey, like it felt like squishy. But it was a good dragon though. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, there's multiple kinds of dragons. Some of them are really nice. Some of them are really not nice. Like, I mean, just like humans.
I wish friggin' Eve was on the show because when we did her session, when she was drying out the things she was getting, one of them was either a dragon or a reptilian or something, but it looked very happy. Eve, where are you? But yeah, I don't want to talk about this without her here because I want to give her her credit.
Yeah,
So
she
hopefully
knew we
she'll
were
come
gonna
on.
be on, but I don't know. Maybe she had things to do.
But I do want to say, after our sessions, I ended up getting really sick, and not to deter from anyone using her services, because she said I had a problem with my throat, and as soon as she said that, my throat started to hurt and feel really like just irritated, and then I got really sick that night, and then I was telling you, Veronica, that I was in, when you're in that half dream awake state, but more when you're dreaming and you just feel really like you don't know what's happening. And there was something on my ceiling, and I told her it looked like Woody from Toy Story, but it looked like those foil balloons, those Mylar balloons. And this is the first time I've ever had any kind of like abduction encounter, because my arms first went up and then my body started to go, and then all of a sudden I like snapped out of it, and then I fell back asleep, and then I was back in that dream-ish state. And when I opened my eyes, it was right in my face. And again, it was Woody, and it had his hand up like this, like it was saying hi. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I pushed it away, and so it started to float away from over my body. And then in my head, I was like, I need to destroy this thing. And my thought was to like grab it from its face and just rip it open. And it knew that's what I thought. So I couldn't even move my arm. So I'm just like laying there, and then it just like disappeared. And I remember like that fire horse dude was talking about like there is that cartoon world. So I don't know if I got a visitation from like one of these entities from that cartoon world, because then you even said it reminded you of the Cheshire Cat, because the way it looked too was like that big cheesy smile with all its teeth showing and the big eyes, and that friggin' creeped me out, man.
Did you
Yeah.
play that when you were fully awake?
No, this is I got sick that night, like really sick, and I was in like that half, like when you go through sleep paralysis, you're in that like really heavy dream, like you're kind of awake but you can't really move, you're just kind of like you know, almost like in that dream state. So that's what it felt like. Because like I said, I saw it on my ceiling and it was like that Woody balloon thing and it was doing this and it was trying to pull me up and my arms went up like this and then my whole body started to go up. And then I somehow snapped out of it. And then when I woke up again, I was again in that dream state and it was right in my face. And I got startled and I was just like, what the hell?
You
And
know
then
what? It kind of sounds like for a reason.
Mhm.
I don't know if you, so it sounds like they were trying to take you into the clown world.
Mhm.
I don't know why I got that. This,
And I had to watch that movie Cool World, and I was like, dude, I feel like I was probably gonna be taken there or something because you know how it's kind of like effed up in that movie. It's really like
what
it's
is
like a
it?
dark,
Cool
cool,
World?
cool world. Have you seen that movie? It's got Brad Pitt in it and Kim Basinger as Hollywood, and she's blonde and she's like this vixen, and she wants to like be intimate with a human so she can become a human.
That's weird.
Yeah.
What I
So I
was
don't.
asking is, when you were awake and fully awake, did you clear that from your space?
Uh, No, I was just like, well, I was still really sick. I was sick for like 3 days.
If you got sick that quick, something was put on you,
Yeah.
you need to send yourself healing, clear your space, and whatever took your energy, you need to reclaim it and ask that it be brought back to you. Because as far as energy, there was a time probably 2 months ago,
Mhm.
which is why I'm not always staring at the stars and moon anymore. I
Mhm.
have several reasons why. But I went outside, I saw these stars. There were 5 of them, and I focused on them. And when I focused, I went off center, and then I, shook it off because I felt funny because they started moving. I go back in
Mhm.
the house, I start getting weak. I could not make a fist. I sat down and I had to like rest, and then finally dawned on me that those were crafts and they took my energy.
Oh wow.
So what I just told you to do is what I did. I asked to and reclaim my energy, and I said that they stole it and to give it back to me. Within seconds, I started feeling like I was revived because
Ooh,
they
okay.
drained me is what they did because I focused on them. So be, do that when you get sick like that or something that
Mhm.
quick, something happened and you need to reverse it and heal yourself.
Okay. She even told me, she's like, I see that there's a portal in your apartment, and I live with 2 other people, so I don't know if it's in one of their rooms or something like that. I have a feeling it's in one of the roommates' bedrooms, because I know she likes to sleep with her closet open. I sleep with mine closed. I can't have it open. It freaks me out. So yeah, and I think Eve even get ended up getting really sick that night too after we did our session together. So
Yeah.
something happened to the both of us.
Yeah, it was probably something you came in contact with, but
Mhm.
there's a clearing that you do when you do a session
Mhm.
that if anything got attached or anything to you,
Mhm.
that you need to clear it. You
Okay.
know, I've done a lot of my readings with Jessica Morocco, and she's very good
Mhm.
at making sure there's nothing lingering. And
Okay.
yeah, so she's really good at what she does. I can't find anyone that compares to her. So I just stick with her.
Yeah,
But
because I'd also would like to do a session with her also. I mean, I did enjoy what I did with Eve because she showed me a lot. You know, I wish she was on so she can show the drawings that she did. I do want to talk about it, but like I said, I don't want to do it without her because I want to give her her credit. So I want to
I
wait
do
till she.
understand.
But
Mhm.
yeah, it was just so weird because I've never been through any kind of abduction ever, and this was the first time where something was. I've never levitated out of my bed. I've only gone through sleep paralysis, but that was about it. But that was the first time I've ever been like I was almost taken out of my space.
As far as sleep paralysis, I had it several times throughout my life.
Hmm.
And one of my very first sessions, I had spoke with Jessica and I told her, yeah, I said, well, yeah, the other night I got sleep paralysis and I said it felt like I was levitated off my bed, and I told her, I said, it was something on me, and I said it was shaking me, and I was trying to pick my arms up to fight it. And she said, yeah, I could see it. She said, it's really disheartening to see, because she said it's a tall white that had been attached to you, and that it was pretty much mad because my space was being cleared. After we cleared that entity, I have not had a sleep paralysis since, because that was the cause of it. It was a tall white. So that's gone. So
Yeah, they're not what people like to think they are.
thank you. And I also have to add, I know everybody loves the Palladians, but every encounter I have had with them have all been negative. Stealing my DNA.
I don't like them. I don't like them at all.
Well, all right.
All right, she said.
You know, I haven't come across, I've even come in contact with the 12D one that actually stole, you know, my energy and was pretending to be me. So I've never come across one that has to do with me that has been positive. So when people start saying the Palladians this or that, I just kind of sit back and relax, because I know not every being is bad, and I know not everyone is good. So if you had good interactions, I'm not going to mess that up. Yeah.
Iris, did you want to tell them about your journal experience that we had? I told this woman, okay, I tell y'all, I tell everybody, hey, put your journal, put your journal under your pillow. That's what I do every night. And then all of a sudden, like, I've been complaining for like a week, you know, that I have this itch here in the back and in the back here, and sending, you know, Iris pictures, and I think Celeste too, and Chad, I don't know who else. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, am I getting my wings? I thought, what's going on? And then I guess, go ahead, Iris, about that. And then your dreams about the people looking in there too.
Okay, well, my first dream, it was astrally, I awoke and I was laying on laying on the side of my bed, and on one side of my bed. And I looked and I saw a man standing in front of me. I could see him from the waist down. He had on green fatigues and black boots, and the pants were tucked in his boots. And so the first thing I'm thinking is, don't move, pretend you're asleep, because that's how real it was. And he stood there for a minute, and then he walked behind me on the other side of my bed. And I'm thinking, is this really happening? Which it was. You know, it was so real that you're like, is this really someone in my room? Then I heard a couple of my drawers open and close. Then I heard a book. Well, I heard papers shuffling, like flipping. This is what I heard. And it's just like you flipping through like a telephone book. You remember telephone books, right? Yeah. That's what I heard. And I'm like, so I'm adding this up. I said, there's someone in my room. So going through my drawers and things. So I lay there for a second, and then I opened my eyes in the 3D, and I you know, quickly turn around, and I'm looking, and I don't see anything. I go to my nightstand, and there's my journal. So that, I mean, it freaked me out to the point that I sent Jessica a text message. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I said, this here happened. This man, it looked like a soldier, you know, was in, and so she texted me back like in an hour. I said, oh, she's up too. And she said, what do you think they want? And it was a whole new level for me. And I go, what do you mean? It's nothing there but my journal and my phone. And she said, there's something that I had taken care of, that she helped me take care of about a week before. It was referenced, someone has been trying to contact me for some time, and I finally got the message. Well, because I rescued this person and straightened it out, she said, I believe they're it's like you're on their radar now, and they just want to see what you know. So I tell Veronica about it, and she says, well, I keep mine under my pillow, nobody's getting that book. I'm like, okay, well, I'll try it. I usually don't do stuff like that, but it was something new. So I put it under my pillow, and then that night, I have a king size bed, so it's under the pillow. So I roll over on that, and I'm like laying on the pillow. And then all of a sudden my back starts itching. And I'm like, so in my sleep, I'm scratching it. And it started itching so much that I got up, went to the restroom, and I could see that I had welts in the center of my back. And I got to thinking, I'm like, and I was laying on my journal. So I called her the next day. I said, get that book from underneath your pillow. I said, because journals, they have spells in them, incantations. We have listed in them entities we've come in contact. We write in there what we have done to clear them. We may do drawings of places that we have been. So there's a lot of energy. Some of it may be negative because of the entities you came in contact with. So I told her, we're not doing this anymore. So I took it from underneath there, alcohol. I was fine by the time that morning came. But it was interesting that it happened that way, because I know it was because I had my journal there and I laid on it. So I no longer do that. As a matter of fact, I have to put it somewhere in the house, because I had another incident after that where I had two beings come into my room, and they were looking at my journal also. So I can't even keep it near me. I have to put it somewhere else. And I did a video on it because I said I have to get this word out. So
You guys gotta look at her channel, Power Lady.
so they had to get that out. Don't, that of what it contains, and it's very powerful in the energy and the things that you put in there. So that's what I wanted to stress.
You know what I'm thinking, Iris and Celeste, is that the itch on my left side has not gone away, even though I don't, we decided to do something with our journals that is not putting it under our pillow.
Correct.
And I'm thinking they must have implanted something, because it has not gone away, and it's not on my birthmark on the back. It's actually on the side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been itching it last night too. And this morning I'm like, what the heck? And then my left implant here in my shoulder that someone thought they had taken it out for me, it's still there. And I'm like, I'm tempted to grab a knife and take it out myself, but I'm like, oh great, now I'm gonna have to need stitches, It's an RFID chip in there, I'll guarantee. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Eve told me the same thing, that I have an implant on my left arm, because I told her that I call it my paranormal arm. Like before I go into sleep paralysis, or I feel there's something not right, my arm starts to prickle up and burn, almost like goosebumps. But it's something different. And she says I do have an implant that looks like this, kind of like the Freemason sign, with the compass and the whatever. And and that's what she drew too.
Is it an ethereal implant, or is it like a 3D one?
She doesn't know. She just, when we were doing the session, that's what she just got. And so it looks like
a 3D one, dude, because I have a 3D, and that's how it feels. It burns and itches, and it's just you can't, you just want to
itch. It'll itch right here, and I'm just like,
what
the fuck?
Yeah.
And then my whole arm will prickle up, and then it'll like burn almost when something isn't right. When I know there's something in the apartment, or there's something going on out in the world, whenever I am, like my arm will just prickle up. It'll start up here, and then it'll move up, and I'm just like, all right, there's something. But yeah, I can feel it right here. Whatever it is, it's right there. I can feel it.
Have you had it x-rayed to see what it is? If it's there?
No, I don't even have insurance, like health insurance, to go to the doctor. I haven't seen a doctor since I was 19. I'll be 40 next month. So it's been years. I don't trust a doctor. I don't trust them, man, because if they know what I am.
Based on the last few years, there's a lot of people in your boat now.
Yep. Yep, exactly. I don't trust doctors unless it's like a holistic one, like a more naturopath. But most doctors to me are just scam artists. They just want to either push drugs on you, or they want to find out what you are and then keep tabs on you.
Well, did you try to remove it yourself? Because you don't know if it's etherical or
Mhm.
have you tried?
I wouldn't even know how. I would just feel like,
You just ask for
go
help.
it.
You just ask for help and assistance from your higher self
Mhm.
to remove this implant, to send you healing, to relieve pain and discomfort. You can do it yourself
Okay.
and just visualize it and have
Mhm.
the intent and use it from your heart. And you can remove it and send yourself healing. You can. That's what I
Okay.
do first, but I have had some implants that I've had to get help on. If it's because sometimes you need more than just yourself, you need others.
Sure.
And
I'm gonna need some help on mine because when Judy came to visit me in Tucson this past meet and greet that I had, she took some of it out and I saw it was like black and with like bloody stuff coming out like a vine, but it's still something is still there. So I need to do something about it because it's really bothering me. It's been bothering me for years. I had both shoulders done in 2015, and so they put an implant here on my left side, and then I got rear-ended again 1 year ago in April when I came back from the conference, and now this one is fractured. It's a lot of stuff. But anyway, well, thank you, John, for being back. We were talking
You're
about
welcome.
implants and how to get rid of them and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. Look, just one thing before I forget. Were you able to have a chat with, I won't say his, Bruce, the Marine?
No, he never contacted me at all.
Oh, I'll have to get on him about that because, like,
Thank you.
yeah. Anyway, keep talking. I'm gonna do something real quick. I'll be listening though.
Okay.
John keeps busy, huh?
We're trying to get him up to the conference. I'm like, shoot, we'll get
Mhm.
contributions for us to go and I'll go pick you up.
Yeah, we'll go grab you.
I'll go pick you up. Well, caravan up there, man.
Dude, right?
Yeah, gonna get
The
done.
magic, is it the mystery tour, magical mystery tour machine bus or something like that?
Oh, okay. I get you. The mystery van, Scooby-Doo.
Yep, yep, Scooby Doo van.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that that guy that we talked about, that we were on the show with, car lady,
Mhm.
that Navy dude, when it was your turn to talk and you told him about this, he's like, well, did you ask them to leave? It's like,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, because he comes off as very knowledgeable and he has a lot of good information. And so I asked him, I said, hey, I've had these beings show up in my room to look at my journals. And he goes, what did he say? That, well, everybody has to get intel some kind of way, pretty much. And I'm like, well, yeah, I understood. What did you? And then he said, did you clear it? I said, of course I did. But, I want to know what you think about that. And then he asked the host, what do you think about that? And the host wasn't even paying attention. He's like, what are you talking about? He said, well, Iris just asked about this. And he's like, oh, I don't know. So I just left it at that. And I was like, okay.
When it was my turn to talk, I was talking about Jessica and Peter the Insider and ACIO. He's like, what's that? Something about something on TV. I'm like, okay, y'all are playing a trick on us. Trying to. I'm like, I don't consent.
Yeah.
How could you not know?
Yeah, well, that's what it is. You're like, there's certain things that
Mhm.
and I think what's her name, Kim Gogan was trying to steal the
Godwin
information. Yeah, Godwin stealing the information off the ACIO website.
was.
Passing off as hers. Then I
Oh
know
my
these
gosh.
people have to know what the ACIO is.
And
That's
then
what I
another female that's very prominent in our, was trying to steal Jessica Morocco's memories as hers. Bitch, please. Excuse my
Oh
language.
my gosh, how desperate can you be, dude? How desperate can you be for fame?
I think that
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Unfortunately, she now knows that I exist. So yeah.
She's like,
Hopefully the other person will know that he was a janitor. Still wearing that suit.
He's like, custodian dick.
I'll shut up now. John, your turn.
Oh boy, what else is there to talk about? Oh, I probably have to go in a few minutes, so I was
The
going to
blue
talk
bean.
about.
The blue werewolves. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
When I was like 9, I think I was taken to Vietnam to this. There's a prison there for aliens making unauthorized visits to Earth. I can still remember flying in this helicopter from Hanoi Airport uh, to. It was in the jungle in the north, probably close to the border with China, but sorry about that. There was a there was a helicopter pad, and there were two bamboo buildings. One of them was 2-story, one of them was 1-story. Went into the 2-story one, and on the inside, you could tell it was actually quite sophisticated. And there was an elevator, huge one, like an industrial elevator. You could fit a car into it pretty easily. Went down and was in this prison. There was, I guess I can say his name. He's no longer with us, Max. He trained me for interrogation in that place. Which that was not fun for any of the people involved. But one of the guards there was a blue werewolf, and yeah, you should ask James about him. He knows a bit more about this guy than I do, but he was one of the guards there. He was my friend, actually. And so I think I was there like a year or so.
I have a lot of memories that, I don't know why. I think I told you that, or Iris, that I feel like a POW. When I was a
Well,
kid, I would watch the Rambo movies, and then in junior high, they would put it in my brain about the Palmia, about this, and then I'm like, okay, I've seen myself in these cages. I know it has to do with all the other programs that I don't want to talk about, Montauk, but I see myself in the desert, like a Vietnam place, and I also see myself fighting. The movie Platoon, because I played the song Platoon, and when I saw the movie the first time, I started crying. This is way before my awakening in 2017. And then that movie 24 hours, oh my gosh, or 12 hours, I think it's called 12 hours. And in Afghanistan, this was when it first came out that I saw it, and I started crying. Back then I was watching it with someone, and he's like, what's wrong with you? He had to take me somewhere out of there because I just bawled. I'm like, so what were we talking about? Vietnam. Sorry,
yeah.
let me have my channel back. So it's intense. It's and then that movie Deus that I saw, it Deus, Deus, or Dios in Spanish. Like that blonde woman, I feel it was me and all of us star seeds that have come to change this timeline, you know, like the Death Star, what they call a Death Star, it could be wormwood that Ashiana talks about, Ashiana, where they want everybody to go into this they call it the sphere, and it opens up and it's a female there, like AI, which is the Holy Spirit, right? To me, that's what it is. And she's saying, because the girl asked, well, who are you? And she's like, all that is and existed. I am the Alpha and Omega, you know, and it's like the guy in the movie says, they're gonna go into this Stargate and then we're gonna kill them all. So I'm like, I'm so passionate about bringing the truth, you know, it's people being brainwashed and programmed every freaking week, you know, to give away their power like that. And then, you know, at the end of the day, you're gonna think you're going to heaven when they're actually gonna kill you with kindness. Not really. It's gonna be shank, shank, you're out. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just, have you seen that movie? And then there's like that guy who I think he has an English accent, and he just him, not his face or anything, but his persona looks really familiar. So I'm thinking, could it be Max? I asked another guy, Colin, my friend, is it you or Max? He's like, dude, it could have been him. I don't know. To this day, I don't know. But we all have, you know, to figure things out here. Have you seen that movie, Dose? You guys?
No, I have not seen it. As far as a memory of Vietnam, the only one that I have that could be close to it is the one where I was on a tropical island. And we were doing a massive evacuation of this island. And I had a partner. I remember he was in a Jeep, and there were two children I had to go get. There were two brothers. Because it was a ship, like a boat ship, you know, because sometimes I'll say ship and you may think one in the air or one on the ground. So it was a huge, like a cruise liner. And everyone on this island was being moved onto this. And there were soldiers all around going, collecting people. We were evacuating the whole island or the whole area. And there were two brothers that I was specifically supposed to get. And I remember telling my partner, I said, I'll be right back. I have to go get these boys. And they were in some dilapidated building. There was bamboo. There was, what is it, the mud and straw where they used to make their places, the homes. It was all destroyed. And they were hiding there. And I said, why are you guys still here? And they said, well, you told us to wait. I go, well, not here. So I said, come on, we have to hurry. So I took two little boys. They had the straight hair with the bowl haircut, jet black. And I went back and I saw my partner. He's like, we have to go. He was in a Jeep. I said, I have to get my stuff. So that's pretty much where it ended. Was I had the two boys with me, and I went to go get my backpack and my gun or something like that. And I told him, we'll be on the ship. And that's when I woke. So that's my memory of a Vietnam or Philippine or tropical island type of memory, is that one.
I've actually got to go. I'll see you later.
Okay,
I
John.
was gonna talk today about Wizard of Oz, but like no. Maybe next time. Because I'm still trying to, Veronica, you know, I'm trying to compose myself still today after something. Yeah. I'll see all you later.
Okay. See you,
Love you,
John.
brother. Hang in there. We're with
You
you.
too.
Now. Next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.